Welcome to GPP Master Elite and Strong Week 19, Divisional Playoffs. I think we'll probably have one more week of DraftKings GPP tournament play next week. Hopefully, they'll give us a good prize and a good payout in the championship. This is, again, a phenomenal opportunity for our members to make money when the pros go to basketball. Unequivocally, the playing field shrinks, the pros go to basketball. If you actually listen to Sirius XM Fantasy 210, they're almost only talking about basketball now. So it proves my point. So focus. There's a $250,000 first place prize, $100,000 second place prize on DraftKings this weekend for this divisional playoffs for the slate of 4 games. You're going to have to be clever. You're going to have to listen. You're going to have a budget and use at least 10 lineups for this to succeed, but you should be able to cash and make money. So I'm going to go through every quarterback instead of picking one and kind of tell you how I'm going to do it this week, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to use Aaron Rodgers in 3 of my lineups, of my budget of 15 or so lineups. I'm going to use Aaron Rodgers in 3. 52.5 over under. Okay. I'm $8,200. He's really expensive. That makes it hard, but the guy is on fire right now, the best quarterback, even including Tom Brady right now, the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, this is not going to be as easy as it was at home in cold weather going into Dallas, hostile territory. The over/under is 52.5, so Vegas is expecting a high-scoring game. I expect Jordy Nelson is going to be out, and I think there's a reasonable chance Ty Montgomery is either out or very, very limited. And Dallas has the number 1 running defense in the NFL. So all that means he's going to have to throw and throw and throw and throw often, especially if Vegas is right and it's a high-scoring game. So I'm going to use Rodgers because I think it's hard not to, especially in that situation. My favorite quarterback, and this is going against the grain, I do not believe Tom Brady will be as highly owned this week as he usually is. Why? 44.5 over-under, low compared to the other games. Maybe the lowest and going down. 16-point spread. So Vegas is saying we think the Patriots are going to blow them out, do it early, and just run LeGarrette Blount the second half if he's okay. He was out sick yesterday. I think Tom Brady is on a mission, and I think Tom Brady is going to throw for 3 to 5 touchdowns in this game. That's just my opinion. So I love Brady, especially being lower owned, 7,800, so also very expensive. But I actually am going to go Tom Brady in 3 lineups right alongside Rodgers. Matt Ryan. So that over-under is also through the roof at 51.5 and rising. So Vegas is saying they think the Seattle-Atlanta game is going to be high scoring. Why? Atlanta's pass defense is awful. Seattle's is great, but Matt Ryan's the number 1 offense. So they think that will overcome the defense. I don't know. I'm a little worried about the Seattle D, against the pass. But Vegas seems to disagree with me. So I will use Matt Ryan at $7,000 as the number 1 rated quarterback one time. Only one time for exposure to him. But I do worry about a game against the Seattle D, although I could absolutely see that game being, Vegas is usually right. So 31-28. Russell Wilson. Atlanta is 28th against the pass. $6,900, 51.5 again, over/under in Vegas and going up. So they're calling this game a shootout. I worry because Wilson has not played very well. Let's just be clear. He has not played very well. But this will not be... I think Thomas Rawls will be too owned this week. I owned him a lot, as you guys know from the video last week. I had him big. This week, I know Atlanta's got a weaker rushing defense too, but I just think this is going to be a game Seattle has to throw to win. And I think they're going to. And I think Russell Wilson could also rush for a touchdown. So I'm going to have Russell Wilson in 2 of my lineups. So Rodgers 3, Brady 3, Ryan 1, Wilson 2. Big Ben. So Kansas City, middle of the road, both against the pass, but really weak against the run. 26 against the run. And look, here's what blew me away about Pittsburgh's Miami game. Le'Veon Bell, I don't think he comes off the field. Okay, I told you guys I liked a little bit of D'Angelo Williams, and that was a mistake because Le'Veon Bell came off the field with 5 minutes left in the game when it was way out of hand. He doesn't come off the field. The guy doesn't even come off for a break or a drink of water. So we'll get to him in a bit. So I'm going to only use Big Ben with Antonio one time. That's it. Dak. So that's an interesting one, right? 31st pass defense. Green Bay's pass defense right now is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. But you think with a rookie quarterback, they're going to rely on trying to get Zeke the ball and run the ball. Over-unders down from 46 to 44 and falling on this game. So, I'm sorry, I apologize. Back, that was the Pittsburgh game. High over-under, 52.5 and rising. So they're saying there's going to be a lot of point scoring. Losing my mind here. And Dak is only $6,000. He's got Dez to throw to. He's got Jason Witten to throw to. He's got Beasley as a slot, and he can throw to Zeke. So if Vegas is right, Dallas is going to have to score. So I will have exposure to Dak in two lineups. Alex Smith, $5,400. 16th pass, middle of the road pass defense. You can absolutely throw on Pittsburgh. Miami did, right? We saw Matt Moore throw pretty successfully. I don't think, first of all, you're going to have that Spencer Ware back. So it's kind of like West, Ware. I think it's going to be hard to run on Pittsburgh. I just do. And I think Alex Smith's going to have to run himself and throw. So I'm actually going to do a rare thing. I'm going to play Alex Smith with no stack because I don't really love anyone with him. Except maybe Kelsey. The only thing I would do is consider stacking him with his tight end. I'm going to have him in one lineup because it allows you to fit in a lot of other people. And by some chance he goes off and runs for a touchdown and throws for 2, you're going to be in good shape because you were able to beef up by saving, off Aaron Rodgers almost $3,000 there. And I am not touching Brock Osweiler. Moving on to running back. So look, Le'Veon Bell, $10,500 against the 26 rushing defense of Kansas City. He doesn't come off the field. He is an animal, but he's $2,000 more than Zeke. So I'm not saying fade him. I'm absolutely playing him. I'll tell you guys in a minute what I'm doing. Zeke at $8,500. Going to be lower owned because of Bell, but also maybe higher offset by the ownership will come back up again based on his price. Look, I haven't faded Zeke all season. You guys know that if you watch this video religiously. And I'm not going to pick now to do it. Guy's a stud, and I think he's going to run successfully. I think Green Bay's rushing defense is overrated, especially with the vulnerability at pass. And I think you can do worse than riding Zeke in this game. I'm fading Rawls, and I'm actually fading LeGarrette Blount, who was out sick yesterday but should play. Why? I could bite me in the you-know-what, because this is the kind of game where the Patriots, Blount scores 2 or 3 touchdowns like he's done all year. No reason not to believe he won't. And potentially could get the ball the entire second half if the Patriots are up by 3 or 4 scores. But I actually think Dion Lewis is the second best athlete after Tom Brady and second best impact player right now in the Patriots. And I expect a lot of Dion Lewis in the first half in this game. A lot. And he's $3,900. And unlike Blount in the GPP, if Blount doesn't score touchdowns, he's useless. He doesn't catch the ball. So he has to have 2 touchdowns. Lewis, he's a big play waiting to happen every single time he touches the ball, and I expect he's going to make one in this game. And he's a lot cheaper, and he'll be a lot less owned. Again, unless by some chance Blount is out. If Blount is out sick, that changes everything. Check back with us Sunday morning. So the only other backs to address here are the Atlanta backs. Freeman at $5,900, Coleman at $4,500, running against Seattle's awesome defense, third against the run. Freeman 13 touchdowns this year, Coleman 11 with a lot less games because he was injured. So that's a pretty much of a toss-up. Coleman's $1,400 cheaper. Tough defense, but you got to think in that 52 over-under, they're going to be in the mix. So it's kind of, but which one do you pick? So for me, I think Freeman's the better play. I think Coleman's the better price. So if I can fit Freeman, I'll fit him maybe as a flex. If not, I'll dip down to Coleman, probably only in 1 or 2 lineups. Maybe a stack with Ryan. Maybe a stack in my Ryan lineup. So because I'm not going to have Julio Jones. We'll come back to that. So I'm going to do some lineups with actually Bell and Zeke and pay down at receiver, tight end, and defense to do that. I'm going to do other lineups with Bell and Lewis and other lineups with Zeke and Lewis. And in a rare case, maybe fade Lewis and squeeze in Coleman or Freeman. Or add as a third, Bell, Lewis, Coleman with a flex. I think it's a running back week. I really do. I love the running backs this week. Wide receiver, so real quickly, I love Devontae Adams. Cobb, 3 touchdowns. He'll get higher owned because of it. Nelson, probably out, I'm sure, or very limited. I can't imagine he plays. Adams has been the go-to guy all year. He's expensive, but I expect him to be the go-to guy again this week. Beyond that, we'll come back to it. I like Jared Cook at tight end, stacked up with Rodgers a lot. Brady, very hard to stack. There's too many options. There's Amendola back, Floyd, Hogan, Edelman, Mitchell, Bennett, Lewis, White. There's 8 options for Brady. It makes it really hard to stack. You're picking 1 out of 8 and rolling the dice that you get it right. So I love Brady. I have 3 lineups. I told you I'm going to have him with Lewis a lot, and that may just be it. I may go 1 because of the price point with Hogan, 1 with Floyd down at $3,500 and $3,900. Again, because it allows you to save money and do a stack of Zeke and Bell. Wilson, I'm stacking with Baldwin. And my second one, I'll probably stack him with Curse instead of Richardson. I think everyone's going to go to Richardson based on his high-profile 2-yard touchdown last week. But Jermaine Curse is still the number 2 guy there and is a lot cheaper than, significantly cheaper at $3,300. Again, allows you to save money. Not so sure there's a big enough difference, wild card there between Curse and Richardson. I am going to attack Ryan with Sanu or with his backs. Either whichever back I can fit in. Mohamed Sanu, $4,000. I'm expecting Richard Sherman to be on Julio Jones. I'm not saying Julio Jones. Look, Julio Jones could have a monster game. He's unstoppable, really. You can't really shut him down. But I'm going to play Sanu in this game. Assume they try to take Jones out of the game, which frees up the backs in Sanu. Big Bren, 1 lineup, I told you, and it will be with Antonio. I mean, how can it not be? You just have to, and you and everyone else. Dak, I'm going to stack with Dez in 1 and Jason Witten in the other. I think Jason Witten's a nice safety valve for him in this game when he doesn't go to Zeke, especially early on as he kind of gets in the flow of his first playoff game as a rookie. Other than that, again, my favorite receivers are Adams, Dez. I like Hogan on the Patriots, Sanu, and Curse. Tight ends, I told you I'm going to use 2 tight ends. I'm going to use Jason Witten, and I'll stack him with Dak and use him without him. And my favorite tight end is Cook. I just think Green Bay, I think that, with Nelson out, I just think that's no running game. I think Cook's going to see a ton of targets in that game against a very vulnerable defense. So I'll be using Cook and Rodgers. I'll be using Witten and Dak, and then I'll be using those 2 guys pretty much throughout all my lineups as my tight ends, depending on cost. And then defense, playing 2 defenses. The Patriots are going to be the uber chalk. Everyone's going to own them. But the Chiefs are a little bit cheaper. And look, they have Tyreek Hill. They have turnover. I come back to this again. You don't know who. There's a lot of high 52 over-unders. The Patriots game. It's tough in the playoffs to assume who might not score any points. So I'm looking for who can score a touchdown and get you those 7 points. Last week I told you guys I had the Houston defense because I thought they'd score a touchdown. 10 points. They weren't Pittsburgh at 15, but they were at 10. This week I'm going Pats and Chiefs. And I think the Chiefs are a phenomenal opportunity because Tyreek Hill can and might and will potentially score a touchdown, and the Chiefs' defense can score touchdowns. And if you get 1 TD from your defense or special teams, you're golden. Good luck. Tune in Sunday for updates, please.